Assalamu alaikum, good evening everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Heena Siddiqi show on Canada One TV. उम्मीद करती हूँ आप सब लोग खुश होंगे, खैरियत से होंगे जहाँ पर भी होंगे। एक और एपिसोड के साथ हम आपके सामने हाजिर हो गए हैं, एक और पर्सनालिटी, एक और स्टोरी और एक और डिसीजन। आजकल आपको पता ही है कि टोरंटो में चल रहे हैं हमारे इलेक्शन, और इलेक्शन में हम लोग चूज़ कर रहे हैं हमारा लीडर। टोरंटो का जो है मेयर इलेक्शन चल रहा है, और इसी मुतालिक हमारे साथ स्टूडियो में आज एक गेस्ट मौजूद हैं। गेस्ट बहुत ही ख़ास और ज़बरदस्त पर्सनालिटी है। एज़ यूजुअल हमारे जो भी तमाम गेस्ट होते हैं हमारे कम्युनिटी के लिए बहुत ही मायने रखते हैं, बिकॉज क्योंकि वो हमारे लिए एक कहने की डिफरेंस क्रिएट कर रहे हैं हमारी सोच में, हमारी ज़िंदगियों में और हमारी प्रोग्रेस के लिए। वेल, टुनाइट आई हैव विद मी डॉक्टर Bahira Abdulsalam, and she's running for the mayor candidateship. And let me share a little bit about her achievement. She's a licensed professional structural engineer, received Queen Elizabeth Medal for community service. She has a great experience and expertise in structural engineering and public service. As an immigrant who came to Canada in 2007 with PhD scholarship in FRP reinforcement in structural engineering, with over 30 years of experience in academia industry, research and development and public service. Please welcome Bahira Abdulsalam to my show. Assalamu alaikum and good evening, Bahira.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm very honored to be with you tonight.
Thank you so much for taking the
you.
time out and coming to my show.
Yeah, it's a very interesting show, and I watched that you are meeting with very important guests. So I'm really honored to be with you tonight and to talk to all the audience.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Like, as you know, that, is a hot topic for our Toronto. The election is, people are selecting their leader, and you are one of the candidate.
Yeah.
So first of all, I would like to, give you the opportunity to share a little bit about yourself with our audience.
Yeah, sure. So I am an engineer. I received my bachelor degree from Cairo, Egypt, Cairo University. In 1990.
Okay.
I worked in Egypt in many industrial projects and with the public and private sector.
Mm-hmm.
And then I traveled to different countries in the Middle East. And after a while, like after I got married, I got my children, I returned to the academia. I started a master's degree in the FRP reinforcement for rehabilitation of buildings.
What is FRP? Sorry.
So FRP is a short name for fiber reinforced polymers. So
Okay.
it is a material that is inspired from the aerospace industry.
Okay.
And then we started using it in civil engineering applications.
Wow.
To make our structures stronger, safer, more durable. So at that time, I found it as very promising field of. It was relatively new.
Okay.
And I was honored to work with some of the pioneers in this area, which allowed me to get a PhD scholarship from Canada.
Wow.
So
That's
I came
great.
here, I brought my family, and I started a PhD at the University of Sherbrooke in Quebec with Canada Research Chair of FRP reinforcement. FRP reinforcement is a reinforcement that is a replacement for steel, and it can be from 2 to 10 times stronger than steel.
Wow.
And it is durable, it doesn't corrode, it's lightweight, so there
Nice.
are huge benefits, and now it is getting more and more known and popular and getting acceptance in different areas.
Okay.
I am very honored to be working in this area and considered like my research team have contributed a lot
Nice.
to this industry. After I completed my PhD, I moved to Ontario, and I got a postdoctoral fellowship from my tax with Western University, and there was a project in collaboration with the University of Arizona. So I traveled there and I worked with an American company for a couple of years.
Very nice.
In my area, which is also in using those advanced composite materials, but it was completely new application. So it was a patent pending application at that time for constructing composite pipes.
All right.
And I helped to initiate a company which had, now it is working, and they are doing very well. And the company that I worked with became like a multinational company. And I learned a lot about entrepreneurship at this stage, which is the original purpose of my tax scholarship, to get collaboration between the academia and the industry. When I came back to Canada, I settled in Toronto.
Okay, how long have you been in Toronto for?
So I came here by the end of 2016.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started teaching in a college, and I was teaching construction project management and different engineering subjects. I also worked as a structural engineer, and I established my own business.
Right.
I established 2 different companies, which are startups, but my mission is to make like benefit from my knowledge and experience, and to approach like different governmental agencies, and to make this technology applied, and so we can use it to make our structures safer and more durable.
That's nice.
I also have a little kid. He's 12 years old now, and he yeah, so this is my youngest. I have 2 elder children.
Beautiful. Being a mother and being a woman, what are your experiences so far in the community, and how do you think it's affecting today's women? Because a lot of women are not coming into politics, and we have our own challenges and own problems that we don't want to work in male-dominating,
Yeah,
industry.
so this is the point. I, as an engineer, and I have chosen this profession mainly to prove how much women can contribute to engineering profession, which is male-dominated field, and to send a message to everyone that Muslim women are capable, females are capable of being in any field. So, because this was my passion, and starting to work in this area, I actually was exposed to a lot of discrimination, being a woman and a single mother in Canada in a male-dominated field. So women until now in the engineering field are struggling.
Still?
Yeah, still. Even non-Muslims, even non-hijabi, still there is a difference. Still there is a struggle. Still we are trying to find our way to have like our rights, not to be at the same level, but being a woman and all those layers of like minority, so it made me exposed more vulnerable to a kind of struggle, which I personally find any struggle that I am going through, it makes me stronger, and it makes me more powerful, and it makes me have more passion to prove that this is not gonna stop me from my ambitions and my like.
Sure. So what are you're working really hard, and I have seen you at a lot of events, a lot of places, making your mark and then showing your presence to the community, getting in the community and making them aware about the situation. On the side, I have experienced that, as a women in the leadership, they're not, people are not taking them seriously as a candidate. What do you have to say about it?
So
Are you experiencing anything like that?
yeah, for sure. Like there is, no, it is not an easy path, and I already knew about it before stepping in. Like before stepping in, I knew that it will not be easy. But when I stepped in, I realized that how much, like there are different views. I found people who are so much supportive and so much inspired, and this is what makes me go forward.
Right.
At the same time, there are some people that don't believe that I can make it, and for those people, I'm just telling them that I know that when I am successful,
Right.
they will join.
Yes.
They will join, and they
Yes.
will, and they will be proud of me, right?
Yes.
And this is what normally happens when
Yes.
someone becomes successful. Everybody
Yes.
they become very proud of them, and
Yeah.
they want to relate and say,
Yes.
oh, this is one of like
Yes.
she's my neighbor, she's
Yes.
my
Yeah. Or
friend.
she's from my community, she's from my country.
Right.
Or we speak the same language or
Exactly.
something.
Yeah, exactly.
true.
So I just ignore whatever, like people who don't. So one thing that I just want to send a message for everyone, because the mainstream media and the everything around us, they are sending some information to the public. The information that they are sending is that there are 5 candidates, you have to choose one of them. Other than that, they are nothing. But this is
Wow.
not true.
That's not true.
This is not true.
That's not true.
Yeah. So because
But I
this
found,
is this is not for me. I don't think this is democracy.
No, it's not.
Democracy means that all those who are running,
Yeah.
we have to look into them, look into
Yes,
their profile.
profiles.
And by the way, like this is what they are saying, that there are 102 candidates.
Yes.
How can we look into that? If
Definitely.
you look at the website of the City of Toronto,
Right.
you will find only very few of them. They have their information there.
Okay.
They have their website. They have the very few of them
They
are
have to go and
serious.
do their homework.
Few of them, and many people are doing that. Many people are calling me, sending me emails, asking me questions. Organizations, individuals, they want to know and they want to decide themselves who is the candidate that is worthy of my vote. And this is very important because every vote counts and your voice is very important. Each one voice, this is something, it is valuable, and this is what is going to shape the future of our city.
Right. Why do you think that a number of candidates have applied for the, mayoral, candidacy? So why do you think is that, 100 plus application for,
So,
why do you think?
yeah, I can tell you something.
Yeah.
One thing that is really, it's not realistic, that the requirements are
Yes.
too low.
Too low.
Why isn't there some if you're applying for any job, they will
Yes.
ask you about your qualification,
Yes.
your degree, your experience.
The very basic minimum requirement for mayorship.
How come when a mayor,
Yes.
which is the highest and the most important position in the city,
Yes.
there is no such thing,
Such
right?
thing, such criteria
Yeah,
for
there
it.
is no such criteria. So this is
The
important.
highest budget city, like financially, they provide a lot of money to the city, and then one of the biggest city
Yeah.
in Canada.
Yeah, this is a question that should be asked to the city,
Yes.
so they have to review the requirement. This is one thing. The other thing that there are some political reasons that probably that there are some candidates are running because they want to they are following a certain party or whatever. So this is another explanation of the number of candidates. But the fact that Toronto, there are millions of people in Toronto.
Yes.
When we have 100 candidates, that's not too much.
That's too much,
right?
Yeah.
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 But possibly there should be a role for the media,
Yes.
to look into and
profiles
for
and
the
then
city to
bring
tell
them
people.
forward. Yeah, bring them forward.
Yeah,
Yes.
at least put the information. Tell them that this is an engineer. This is a high school student. This is someone is. What are their qualifications? Let's
Right.
know. Let's inform the people.
Definitely, definitely. What about your experience? How it can bring a contribution to the city? Like, what are your goals or vision for the city? What do you want to do?
Yeah. So okay. So let's start by the challenges
Okay.
in the city.
All
So
right.
those are like the motivation that makes me want to add or contribute to the city. So the challenges that we have in the city include the housing, affordable housing, include the increase in the crime rate, and the transportation. So we have so much, and also the social justice.
Right.
Those are so much challenges. Being like a small business owner, being an engineer, being a college professor. So I worked in different areas, and being someone who is renting a home. I'm not a home owner. So being from the working class level, I have lived those being a TTC user for a few years.
Right.
I have been living lots of challenges, and then I realized that those challenges are not only mine.
Okay.
Those are most of the immigrants are
Immigrants, yeah.
living them. Most of the working class families are living them.
Right.
So this means that we need to do something. This is why I stepped up, and I want to create solutions to those problems.
So Bahira, these were the problems. So we're going to talk about the solution, but it's time for us to take a short break. So let's go on a short break and we'll be back shortly. You don't go anywhere. Keep watching the show. Welcome back to the Heena Siddiqi show on Canada 1 TV. Tonight I have with me Dr. Bahira Abdulsalam, who's running to be the next mayor of Toronto. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Well, we've been talking about the challenges, problems, and all related to the city. Now I want to talk about the powers as a mayor. What is your opinion about strong mayor powers? How do you see it?
Well, I believe the real power for a mayor is the power of people. The mayor should apply and respect the principles of democracy, freedom, and listen to the councillors. who are representing the people and apply the majority of the opinion of the councillors. So I'm completely against the strong mayor power principle, and I'm really not in agreement with this. I don't think this is democracy, and any mayor who will utilize it, he will not be respecting democracy. This is my point of view. So I will respect the majority rule, no matter what it's going to bring, even if it is against my own will or thoughts. But if this is the people what they want, we have to respect their needs.
That's right. Okay. Well, we were talking about the challenges. Now I want to focus on transportation in Toronto, which is our biggest problem at the moment. The city's congestion, the traffic, the long hours in traffic, and from one place to another place. Like, how do you think it's gonna help the situation if you gonna get elected as a mayor? What's your...
Okay, so as a mayor of Toronto, as an engineer, as someone who respects the knowledge and experience of professionals, I am going to apply the professional advice. So like for transportation, we have professionals who are working with the highest standards of technology to bring us solutions for our transportation problems. So I'm really surprised about mayoral candidates who are proposing solutions that is completely doesn't make sense from transportation point of view.
For example?
For example, demolishing the Gardner Expressway or part of it, and then turning it into a road. And this is bringing us back several years before. So we have to be planning for the future. We have to make strategic transportation plan, because our problem, it will be, and for example, putting police officers inside the city, this is not a solution for transportation.
Right.
The solution for transportation is building, rebuilding, or repair. We have, first of all, we have to make economical feasibility study, and to make sure that our solution is economical and feasible, and we have to include the most up-to-date principles and technologies, and this is what I am going to bring to the city. And I'm going to create partnerships with academical institutions and professionals with the city. And I have a proposed project for rebuilding the Gardner Expressway and developing condominium apartments that is going to bring income to the city. So we will do both at the same time, and the details will be presented later on. And I believe that this is the biggest project that is presented in the whole mayoral candidate that have been running for this election.
Right. As you were talking about the condominium, let's talk about the affordable housing.
Yeah.
How do you think it's gonna your experience and expertise will help the city to make the affordable housing? As you know, Toronto is a huge hub for the immigrants. People are coming every year, settling in Toronto, and we are exploding in terms of population. How are we going to help it? How are we going to help the situation?
Yeah, so of course, like with Canada and Toronto opening the doors for immigrants, so we need to have a strategic plans for them settling in the city in a reasonable way. We need to provide them with means that they will live in, and also not only for the immigrants, for the people who are already living in the city, because they are struggling with the cost of the living and rental and everything.
Yes.
So I have, in order to solve this problem, we have to look into the root causes of this problem. So saying that the immigration is the root cause of the affordability of housing, I don't think this is correct. We bring immigrants to this
to help to, you know, in economics and all, yeah,
exactly. So
situations.
immigrants are bringing, strengthening the economy of Canada and economy of Toronto.
Right.
And so the affordability of housing, there are many ways and many projects we are currently working on in order to bring people to own their own houses and to contribute with small amounts of money, and then they will develop their own community and they will own their own units. And we have to work with the city. So the city of Toronto needs to provide and to sell the land without including those development fees. So we will have a kind of company that is helping with the construction of those housing and cutting the development fees of this. And we are going to use also construction materials that are less expensive, because importing the construction materials, this is also adding to the cost of the houses, and the new methods of building homes, because there are creative materials and methods for building homes that have not yet been considered, and this is what I'm going to bring into the city.
Nice. So now let's talk about the crime rate in Toronto, you know, the safety for the community. What's your take on that?
Yeah, so this is a serious problem, and I have talked with many police officers and many people in the street, and we are really, people are concerned about this. So we need to work together with all the stakeholders and to find what are the root causes of crime.
Right.
So first of all, we have to ensure that people have shelter and they are not left without homes.
Yes.
We have to increase the minimum level of income so people will have will have the minimum level of income to let them live in a way not exposed to a lot of stress. And one of the things that are very important is contributing to the crime rate is drugs.
Okay.
So we need to ensure that people who are addicted, we have to help them get out of the addiction and to manage this problem in a proper way, because we need to protect our youth, our people.
Absolutely.
The mental health issues, we have to help people with the mental health to get them the required treatment to go over it. So all those together, they contribute to the causes of crime, including some working with the police and working with organizations that are providing social services in order to help create activities and help the community to go over that.
Nice. Well, what about some racial discrimination? Can we talk about that? Like, you know, and of course you are, you know, practicing Muslim and have a faith. Where did you experience any Islamophobia while you were working or, you know, making living? What's your take on that? Because we have experienced a lot in the news and then in the community too. What do you think about that? How, as a mayor, you can bring a contribution to help the issue?
Yeah. So first of all, discrimination, it's a reality, and it exists.
Yes.
And there are several grounds of discrimination. There is discrimination, religious discrimination, discrimination due to the disability. Some people of disabilities, they face discrimination. People of color, the income rate or getting social assistance. So there are huge
discrimination.
Yeah, so the many ways of the.
Yes.
So first of all, we need to educate people.
Okay.
Education is very important because sometimes people, when they don't go through the experience themselves, they don't see it. So those people need to understand what does it mean to walk in other people's shoes. We need to put the right people in the right position. So we cannot hire someone to take care of people who have like struggling with like unable to find home or don't have shelter. Islamophobia, it exists. I have faced lots of challenges in my life. So the problem also is in the justice system. We have to strengthen our justice system and to make sure that people can get quickly their rights. Because if you have rules and legislations
and taking the action, you know, on a situation or any incident, that makes people aware about the situation. Yes, if we're going to do something, we're going to face the consequences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you are facing something and making a complaint and waiting for 3-4 years and without any results, what is
some sort of a strong policies should be, you know, made.
Yeah, I agree.
So thank you so much, Bahira. It was a nice talking to you about your life and experience and how you can make a difference if you get elected. Well, do you have any final message for our audience to say?
Yeah, I would like the audience to check my profile and website. Bahira, my name is Bahira Abdulsalam. And my website is mayorfortoronto.ca. I'm available on all social media. And I will be very happy to answer your questions, to come and meet you in person if you have any gathering, and to that you would know more about me. My advice to everybody is to vote for someone that you believe in, that you is sharing your values, your ideas, your passion, and is going to help your cause, and who is professional. And I believe I'm the one. Yeah, I'm the one who's going to help.
Thank you so much, Bahira.
Thank you.
It's nice talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much.
Well, it was Bahira Abdulsalam in our studio, and we have talked to her about all the problems we have, the Toronto is facing, and what are the solutions. And a lot of candidates have applied for this mayorship position. It's your duty, it's your work that you have to do on your part to make a decision and to make a well-informed decision about this position, because your decision can make a difference and decide Toronto's future. So don't forget to write me about this episode at heenasiddiqi007@gmail.com. I'll see you next week on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Till then, take care of yourself. I'll see you next week. Good night, Shabba Khair, Allah Hafiz. Keep watching Canada One TV.